I poured this into my dead garden, and thousands of worms appeared in 3 days. My garden was flatlining. The soil had turned into dry, lifeless crust. No sprouts, no worms, no signs of recovery no matter how much compost or mulch I added. I'd nearly given up on it. But then I poured in something so basic, so seemingly insignificant I didn't expect much. It was a cloudy liquid I had left over from the kitchen, nothing fancy. I let it sit for 2 days, poured it over the soil, and walked away. What happened next changed everything. By the 3rd morning the transformation was undeniable. Thousands of worms had surfaced. The ground was moving with life, earthworms of every size tunneling through the soil like they'd been waiting for this moment. My dead garden had been revived, not by expensive treatments or industrial products, but by something natural, homemade, and alive. Let me walk you through exactly what I used, why it works so quickly, and how you can use the same method to turn dead soil into a living system teeming with worms, fertility, and growth. How this liquid turns dead soil into a worm magnet. What I used is known in natural gardening circles, but still wildly underrated: fermented rice water. It's nothing more than the starchy water left after rinsing rice, left to ferment at room temperature for a couple of days. During fermentation, the liquid becomes loaded with beneficial bacteria, amino acids, trace nutrients, and enzymes. It's alive, and that's the key. When poured into soil, this liquid doesn't just hydrate the ground, it activates it. The microbes begin rapidly multiplying as they hit the organic matter in your garden. They break down leftover plant debris, unlock bound nutrients, and build a thriving microbial network right below the surface. And that sudden microbial surge? That's what worms are drawn to. Worms don't just randomly appear, they follow food and biology. When they sense microbial activity in soft, moist soil, they come in droves. And that's exactly what fermented rice water delivers. It's like sending a dinner invitation underground. The exact recipe that brought my soil back to life. To make this liquid, I rinsed 1 cup of uncooked white rice with 2 cups of clean water, agitating it until the water turned cloudy. Then I strained out the rice, saving just the starchy water. I poured it into a clean glass jar and covered the opening with a breathable cloth, letting it ferment on the counter for 48 hours. Once it smelled slightly sour, like diluted yogurt, it was ready. I diluted it with water using a 1:4 ratio. That's 1 part fermented rice water to 4 parts clean, non-chlorinated water. In total, I mixed 1 liter of the fermented liquid with 4 liters of rainwater. Then I poured it directly onto my garden bed, saturating the soil evenly. What I saw in 3 days was nothing short of revival. Honestly, I expected some improvement, maybe better moisture retention or, softer soil. But I didn't expect thousands of worms. They rose to the surface, moving through the mulch and into the topsoil, feeding, digging, and breaking ground that had been compacted and still for months. The soil didn't just look better, it was better. It smelled earthy, held water like a sponge, and crumbled in my hand. The worms stayed. And with them came the long-term benefits: improved soil structure, better drainage, more oxygen at the roots, and natural fertilization through their castings. It wasn't just a fix, it was the start of a new soil ecosystem. When you attract worms, you're inviting in the ultimate soil engineers. As they tunnel, they break up compacted ground, allowing roots to stretch deeper and water to drain more evenly. Their castings are rich in bioavailable nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, all perfectly balanced for plant uptake. But they also spread those rice water microbes deeper and wider than any tool could. The beneficial bacteria from the fermented liquid hitch a ride on the worms, colonizing the soil and keeping the ecosystem thriving well beyond that first application. And because worms reproduce in biologically rich environments, they start laying eggs in the very same beds, ensuring the cycle continues. I now apply fermented rice water every 2 weeks during the growing season. This frequency keeps microbial populations healthy and encourages worms to stay and multiply. Always apply the mixture to the soil, not the leaves, and avoid using it on overly saturated ground. It's best used when your soil is dry, compacted, or lacking visible life. Over time, I've found this one habit, this simple treatment, does more than most store-bought products ever did. And it costs nothing but a bit of time and rice you were going to rinse anyway. This isn't a trick or a gardening myth, it's biology, and it works. If your soil is tired, dry, or empty of life, this is the reset button you've been looking for. Give it 3 days. Just 3. You might see worms. You might see sprouts. You might witness your garden come back from the dead like mine did. If this helped you or sparked an idea for your own garden, subscribe to Soil and Crop Central, and share this video with another gardener who needs a win. There's so much more to come. Natural methods, proven results, and real-life soil science made simple. Let's grow better together.